afternoon, motherfuckers. This is the Talking Shit Podcast. I am Dr. Evil Genius. Who the fuck are you?
I am Captain Paul, and I want to put a little bit of Captain in you.
Pause. Nigga pause. Okay. So, eventually we will get into the impetus for us getting on here today. But before we do, tell me anything interesting going on in your world, Captain Paul.
Not much, man. Just same old. Just chilling. Nothing too crazy. What about you?
What have I done? Oh yeah, I watched this movie last night, man. I watched it with my ladies last night.
Hmm.
We watched this movie called Greenland.
Greenland?
Yeah,
Never heard of it.
on HBO Max.
Shit. Was it pretty good?
I don't like to give my opinions on films other people haven't seen, but I will tell you this. That was one of the most stressful movies I've ever watched in my life. So what I wanted to do, I don't know, I had this hankering. I really wanted to hang out with the ladies, but also wanted to get a lift in. So I figured, you know what? Let me just put on a movie. Here's Gerard Butler in a movie. Okay. This is Sparta and all of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and then I watched it. Like, I actually watched the film, and I couldn't do anything but just stare at the fucking screen.
Really?
Because because I'm an action film guy. Because I'm a grown ass man. Men. We don't really care about the Notebook. We don't give a fuck about that. Okay, because we're men. All right, and that's gonna be a recurring theme in today's show. But I found myself just stuck. Sometimes I just wanna. Oh, Jimmy Dean is in Alabama. For some reason, I thought you were in California. I don't know what's wrong with me. Uh, yeah, Alabama is not known for great infrastructure. Okay. All right. So I'm watching like this film, man, and I couldn't do anything but watch the film. Like, I went to go reach for the dumbbells, and I
Mm-hmm.
was just fucking stuck. Okay. That movie was stressful as fuck. So Captain Paul, I'll give you a little bit of homework. See if you want to go and check that film out, Greenland.
Yeah, we could definitely. I'll definitely do a little mini review or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, and then, yeah, and I guess for all of those that are watching now, if you don't want the movie spoiled for you, and you've got HBO Max, just go fucking watch it. Just do it,
Mm.
because come Monday, we're probably gonna be, really ruining the movie for you. But man, that movie, I was very stressed out watching that film. I did that yesterday, but it was nice to hang out with the ladies. Um, yeah, it was really nice to hang out with the ladies for a while. Then I watched I guess like the second half
Mm.
of Suns at Clippers.
That was an interesting game.
Yeah, I just kept for one thing, I gotta say, I have a lot of respect for, and I had his name right in my fucking head. I had his name right in my head. Patrick Beverley. I have a lot of respect for Patrick Beverley. Okay, this guy has been playing the role of, uh, defensive villain for a long time. Remember,
This
he was a guy. when Russell Westbrook injured his knee, Russell Westbrook tripped over him because he was playing him so tough along the baseline, not the baseline, along the sideline, right?
Mm.
He really got up in the Suns superstar, the young man
Booker.
Devin
Yeah.
Booker. He got up in his motherfucking grill
Yeah,
last night.
like yeah, he definitely got into his grill and he kept him to like 15 points, which like that guy's
But it
been
wasn't
averaging.
just 15 points. He shot really poorly from the field,
But
like
that's what I'm
3 of
saying though. But you
15 or
keep a
something like
guy
that.
like Booker who's been kind of lights out this whole playoffs. Like even after that game, he's still averaging 25.8 points per game in the playoffs. Like Booker's been lighting it up, and the way he played on and clamped him down and like made every shot a fucking difficult one. Like yeah, I think Beverley plays pretty good defense, and some people were trying to say he was slowing down. I just think that guy gives maximum effort, and
Absolutely.
he's gonna make it fucking difficult on you to get a shot off, especially when he's on his game, bro. He's like one of the best defensive players in the NBA.
Word up. And I agree. Uh, but but see, you gotta understand something. It wasn't just about the defense that he played. It was the fact that he was able to get Devin Booker off his square. Because
Yeah,
it wasn't just that Devin Booker shot the ball poorly. He was able to get Devin Booker emotional. He got he goaded Devin Booker into that double technical foul.
yeah,
He got Devin Booker in foul trouble. And what ends up happening is when Devin Booker picked up his 4th foul very early on in the 3rd quarter, what did that allow Patrick Beverley to do? Well, then he took on the defensive assignment of taking on a returning from injury Chris Paul,
mm,
right?
yeah,
He knew how to press Devin Booker's buttons
mm.
to get him to make a mistake on the world stage. That is a segue we are going to use to go into what I found in my Bumble inbox this morning. Now,
I
you
am
have to
highly
understand,
intrigued.
you must understand that the human brain works in a very specific order. When you receive stimulation, when you receive stimuli,
Mm-hmm.
the irrational, emotional part of your brain processes the information first before the rational brain.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that you have to do as a man is that you have to understand that that is the wiring of your brain. And then you have to guard against what comes with reacting emotionally before you let the rational thought take over. So when I woke up before 8 a.m. today, and I looked and I saw that I had these messages.
Oh,
And I expected the messages to be a certain way. Okay? They were very much not that way. And I could have done what my first inclination was, is to go the entire fuck off.
mm-hmm.
But what good would that do? What lessons would I be teaching men out there if I allowed what came into my inbox to change my approach to how I do my show?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of man would I be if I let that woman dictate to me my emotions and how I react to
Mm-hmm.
blah?
No,
So
no,
I decided to
yeah.
dust off this shirt. I have not worn this shirt in years because I'm wearing this shirt to prove a motherfucking point. I don't actually kick puppies. I want you to know that. But I wanted to prove a motherfucking point. Okay? And it's in the title. Modern women don't know shit about modern men or men of any time period, of any era.
Mm.
And I've seen evidence of this time and time and time and time and time again. So we're gonna break down, because the thing is, like, I broke down yesterday's the part of the conversation that I shared with you guys yesterday. I broke that down for you in very, very clean terms. Now, I'm going to ask you guys in the chat, because at least 2 of you in the chat right now was present for all of yesterday's show. Okay? Okay? Now, can you guys remind me of your assessment of the conversation that I divulged to you? Can you tell me what your first inclination was before I broke it down? Start with you, Captain Paul, while we wait for the guys in the comments. Before we wait for the guys on Twitch and YouTube, and thank you for your loyal viewership.
So for me, it was kind of like one of those situations where you kind of had someone that was on a dating fucking website, but wasn't there to date. It just wasn't. I feel like I think I put it pretty well yesterday. My blunt feelings on it, but just seemed like she was. I don't know, just not emotionally, or I feel like she was just wasting your time. I think she was wasting other people's times being on this website, right? And
she admitted to that. She admitted to that,
and she did admit to that. But I think the one thing that kind of bothered me is that it's like you're being easily like. I hate the excuse of, oh, my friends made me this account. Like it just seemed like a lot of like in some sense there was some like a lack of accountability. Like she did take accountable that she wasn't there in the correct mindset, but you're a grown ass person, you can just delete the profile. But I don't know. It just seemed like somebody that wasn't necessarily in the right mindset to even talk about, just be into a dating circle at all. Just shouldn't be there.
Okay. Now, of all of us, who do you think was the most comprehensive and the most sensitive to her plight?
Oh, definitely you.
Okay. So, what I'm about to share with you guys is going to be extremely amusing to you. Okay? All right. So, again, I'm not going to, I've already said, well, let me not skip to the end, but of course, I'm not giving any personal identification here. I'm not going to be like, hey, this person's name is blah, blah, blah. In fact, I didn't even really, there's, no personal identifiers, just going strictly on this conversation here. Showing nothing on screen or anything like that. So, understand that, there's no legal liability here. Okay? All right. So, I sent her a message saying this because I had a second thought, and I basically said, perhaps we could build something of a friendship, because the way I see her is that she is a traditional woman trying to navigate the modern world, really, right? I explained to you what the burden of performance is on girls in Southeast Asia, and how the burden of performance is higher on the girls than it generally is on the boys. The boys are a little bit more valued, so to speak. Okay? So this is the response after that, okay? I watched the latest episode, and it's very, very hurtful.
Oh, God.
I do believe you intend well with me and with the show, but the result was more cruel and judgmental shared than lesson in healing, kindness, or strength. Okay. Oof. Word for word, a private exchange between us with description of my age range and ethnicity was publicly used as an example to be mocked, cursed at, teased, judged, stereotyped, bullied, critiqued as unworthy to be on a dating app, dating in general, and even as a human being. Too old, too childish, too crazy, too insecure, to the point of hide the knife? For what? To show the world that I'm actually sweet and wasn't manipulating you for man attention. Praise for being traditional and having traditional values and publicly sexualized this too average body and face to teach men how to be better men. Okay.
Wait. Whoa.
So I'm gonna translate the womanese. Okay.
Sexualized.
Because she heard what we said, but she wasn't listening. Okay. Okay.
Sexualized?
Okay. I think that this is a typographical error, but we're going to go with this with Blind Bat. I believe Blind Bat is saying, I believe you shouldn't make excuses for other people. They make enough excuses for themselves. And I'm going to go on record as saying that while I agree with that in practice, in principle, not quite sure. I have to think on that. Okay. So, here is someone who did not listen with their rational brain. And how could you expect them to do so? They're a woman unfamiliar to either of us who host the show.
That is very fair.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But again, women, especially in modern times, they have the leeway to react emotionally, and there really isn't any expectation or burden of performance where any of the information should be evaluated with a rational mind. So I'm going to reread. Oh, see, people don't listen to understand. They listen to respond.
Yeah.
Okay. This person was clearly in their feelings. So, cruel, judgmental, to be publicly used as an example, to be mocked, cursed at, teased, judged, stereotyped, bullied. Okay. All right. This person heard words, but as they had flashes of emotions, certain words actually faded out of their mind. Because if she was actually listening to what the fuck was going on, is that there was a lesson in making sure that you do not stereotype people and you give them the benefit of the doubt. Because while you may be expecting that they're going to be one way, there are going to be certain things that they say that let you know that is probably not that way. So that's why, see, she does go on to mention praise for being traditional and having traditional values, right? So that means that she heard most of the way through the end, right? Now, I'll give you an example. Somebody very close to me listened to episode 17, got very upset. Okay? They got in their feelings, stopped listening to understand for a while, and then checked all the way the fuck out and didn't hear the praise that came on the back end, because the point wasn't to tear them down. The point was to teach a lesson to men, and using myself as an example. Right? So it didn't matter that I had already said that it doesn't matter who's at fault. This is the result, and it doesn't matter whose fault it is. Mm-hmm. Right? I said that several times for a reason. Because it's not about the individual person. It's about the lesson to be learned. And one of the things that she could not grasp here is that she is in the same boat. She was not actually listening to understand. She took offense. Woe is me. I'm being made fun of. I'm being sexualized. Newsflash! Breaking news. Men sexualize women. This has been breaking news here on the Talking Shit podcast. Because the simple fact of the matter is, is that men are visual and sexual beings. Women are sexual beings, but historically they're not really visual, right? Women, like they say that women are objectified for sex. Men are objectified for success. Right? Hold on a second. I gotta do a little bit of house cleaning right here.
Yeah.
Because obviously we can't get the we need to get the
You need to get that like bot that kind of
we need to get the bot going. But yeah, I'm not going to worry about that right now. We'll get rid of the spam later. But the point is that women generally are objectified for sex, and men are objectified for success. Shout out to Myron Gaines, Fresh and Fit podcast. He put it very eloquently. I think there's some Rollo Tomasi influence in there as well. Okay? The simple fact of the matter is, especially when you're on a dating app, is that women are looking for certain things and men are looking for certain things. That is always going to be the case because that's how babies get born. But then again, if you go back to one of the first videos we've done on this channel, in the developed world, the birth rates are below replacement rate. So this is part of the breakdown between the social contract of the man and the woman. This is part of that. So he's like, oh, I'm being sex. The thing is, none of you really know who this woman is. I didn't give any identifying information. She even mentioned I gave an age range. Well, guess what, lady? Your age matters. Once you reach a certain age as a woman, your value in the sexual marketplace decreases considerably. And I'm not going to tell you what her exact age is, but I'm just going to let you know that men worth their weight in gold are not going to be choosing women like her.
So, can I just give you my opinion on all this? Just blunt.
Oh, yeah, because there's a whole lot more. We're going in today.
Okay. So, and I apologize. I am a little tired today. But I'm just going to be blunt. Like, if
you don't even have to say it. We expect it from you. Guess what? Reality is cruel. And we're going to be harping on that point today. Reality is cruel.
But I think the one thing that, because I'm kind of waking up, the one thing I kind of had a massive problem with the whole situation
up is Captain Paul in your cup.
Jesus. But like for me is that, you go onto a dating website, you have interactions with men on Bumble that you reach out, right? Like I'm gonna put all the jokes aside. I'm just keep it all the way real. But you are the one who reached out to this man, my co-host, right? Am I right or am I wrong? Because that Bumble app is supposed to be progressive, which is hilarious in some ways.
Because it's a lot of societal regression in this so-called progression. But continue.
So, where the woman has to reach out first. So for me, you know what? I'll just call it how it is, man. You're on a website, a dating website. With some of the things that I was joking about, it sounded pretty cool. Yeah, but there was a message behind it. I'm trying to say this honestly. If you are on a dating website and you're looking just to make friends, like I feel like you're on there with false pretenses. Like nobody's on a dating website just to be like, oh my God, these people look cool. Let me go hang out with them. Oh yeah. Like that's not how it works. Right.
Yeah.
She saw your profile. She was obviously attracted.
Hey, man, I mean, look at me, nigga. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
So my thing is this, and I was giving benefit of the doubt, but now I'm just gonna be a dick. Like, yo, she saw you say, oh, maybe we can be friends. Maybe you can be that sixth relationship that lasts like for 2-3 years. Listen, that was some soft core friend zone shit to me, right? I get it. Everyone's got trauma. Everyone's got issues. People's got to go to therapy. Everybody has their own shit in their own life.
Shout out to her for actually going to therapy.
Yeah, exactly.
I applaud that. I applaud that. But I will say this. I will say this on the therapy thing. Sorry to interject, but for you women out there, especially you single women, or as Replicant Fish would say, leftover women, showing you, right? Your therapist should be male. You need a male therapist. And the reason why I say that is because, again, when women tend to take on information, when they get hit with stimuli, they're going to tend toward processing it with the emotions, and then it stops there. It's going to be a long time before any of that information gets to the rational brain, if ever. Right? If you're a woman that's struggling with your dealings with men, excuse me. Excuse me. If you're a woman struggling with your dealings with men, getting advice from a woman is, and I said this yesterday, men should not take dating advice from women, and women should not take dating advice from women.
So, like, for me as a whole, she was on there, that whole dating website with a false pretense. She seemed nice enough. She looks like she has more traditional values, but you got to also take.
I will push back on one thing. I wouldn't say that she was there under false pretenses, because she did go there intending to open up or to bloom as a flower. She did go there, and then as soon as she realized that she wasn't going to be able to uphold that, she took responsibility for that. So I got to give her that credit.
No, I'm not. I'm sorry. Like, you know where you are mentally, or you should know where you are mentally if you're ready to date or not. And that goes into the whole, I think, greater problem when she says she's only been single for like a month or some shit. It was about a month. Like, yo, from what I diagnosed from afar, and what she tells you also have to take with a grain of salt when I tell you, because we don't truly know this person, right?
Right.
But I'm going off.
It could be a 46-year-old man in his mother's basement.
Yo, like a Filipino
drinking
man
Monsters and eating Doritos.
Exactly. So you don't know. You could be getting catfish right now. Who all I know is, But
no, actually, according to Bumble, she's legit, because she has to verify or whatever.
But long story short, is you go onto a website. You obviously aren't ready. Seems like she kind of seeks her happiness in life through relationships. It's like. I've never really heard of a person. I get it's traditional in a way, but I've never heard of a person go on one date and like that's it. Like, you date one person and that's like it for 2 years. Like, in some senses, it's a good thing because it shows that they're loyal and all that.
Right, they've got discipline, they have sexual discipline.
But on
you don't want a chick that you don't want to marry a chick that's been riding the rooster carousel. So to speak.
On the flip side, I feel like a person like that can also have stunted development. And what I mean is, like, I'm not saying for her to have sex with a bunch of fucking different guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I don't even think truly she probably doesn't even know, like, completely what her own type is. If she's just in long fucking term relationships with certain guys.
She definitely seeks external validation. So
like, my thing is she doing this? Is she in these long relationships because she truly cares for these people? Or is she doing it because it's all she knows? Right? Because there's certain girls I know like that, where it's like that's how they seek their validation. That's how they seek their happiness, is through other like long-term relationships. And if they're not in a relationship, they feel empty inside.
But the thing is, it's but you got to understand something, Paul. Like it or not, that's one of the truths she understands. Because, again, the way that society judges us, and yes, we're judgmental. Because that's the real world.
Everyone judges everyone. That's
everyone judges everybody all day, every day. All of this notion about being judgmental is bullshit.
Like, listen,
that whole non-judgmental crap only exists so that people don't take responsibility for their issues in their life. So we're just gonna go there with it. But I gotta explain this to you, Paul. Men are judged by how many women and how pretty the women are that they can have sexual access to. Women are judged by the kind and caliber of man that they can retain after sex. And that is something that I suspect, in the limited conversation I had with her, her history suggests that she understands that concept. Because she's not just going to be giving up the goods and not getting any kind of commitment on some level in return. Because that is the currency that women come to the marketplace with.
But who's saying that she has to give up the goods after one first date, bro? I'm just telling you my personal preference.
No, what I'm saying is...
what I'm saying is this, dude, is that I feel like it'd be a little bit healthier if she was single for a bit, and then when she starts dating again, like, yo, like, go on another date, go on, like, judge, you know what I'm saying? Like, go on a date, kind of expand your horizons, see what's out there. At that part of her
life, man, it's risky because... Let's just say,
how old was she?
Let's just say, like, if you guys follow Kevin Samuels, she's in no man's land. Okay, so, you have, the time that women have their greatest value in the sexual marketplace, where it never is going to be as high as she is when she's 23 years old. Okay. She still has high value at 24, 25, 26, but every year that goes by, the value slides. Kevin Samuels has identified ages 27 to 35 as the danger zone, where a woman has to be laser-like focused on the outcomes that she is looking for. Meaning that when she goes out and dates, she can't be out there just giving it up to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. She has to be very, very careful who she gives it up to, which this woman clearly is very careful. And she is going to have to be very careful about the type and caliber, the kind and caliber of man that she wants, because at age 35, geriatric pregnancy sets in. The chances that you're going to have a successful pregnancy dives off a cliff at 35.
Mm-hmm. Like,
if you want to get a man who is worth his weight in gold,
mm-hmm.
he is going to want to leave a legacy, and that means at least 2 children, maybe more. So 36 to 60 is known as no man's land because you're already post geriatric pregnancy at that point, right? This is not about, Dr. Evil or Captain Paul judging you. This is about biology. And any man that's worth it, that is going to give you the kind of security, because she did use the word security. She was looking for a measure of security, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That guy wants something in return for that so-called security.
Right, but...
So I'm just going to I'm not going to tell you what her age is, because that's not fair to her.
Right.
Right? But I'm going to let you know that she's in no man's land.
Okay.
Because the guys that are actually worth something, they're not looking at women in that age range, that 36 to 60. They're not looking for women in that age range.
So
they're looking for women in that 20. They're looking for women in that 20 to 25 range. But they'll accept you in that 27 to 32, maybe even 33. Maybe. Because you still have a chance of providing them the legacy that comes with the kind of value that kind of man brings to the world. But if you're not, if you're already in a situation where even if you do get pregnant, the best you're going to get is 1. And even in that, the chances that the pregnancy is going to lead to healthy offspring or even a mother that survives childbirth, the percentages go down once you hit 35. And that's just what reality is. And you can say that I'm judging you. You can say that I'm cruel. You can say that I'm mocking you. No, this is fucking reality.
like there's some things I agree with Kevin Samuel, some things I disagree, but um, that is just the medical facts, right? Like that is the truth. After the age of 35, there's a lot more risks involved. There just is, man. That can be whether unfortunately the baby not coming out alive, having birth defects. It just there's a greater risk for a lot of different complications when you have a kid past 35, right? What I'm saying is this: is that I understand she's searching security, and I think that's respectable.
But that's what
But
women are supposed to do.
right,
So I'm not mad at her for that.
right. Let me finish. What I'm saying is that with her, is that maybe her next dating, right? Maybe that she just plays it, see a little bit. I'm not saying like date several guys for like multiple years. I'm just saying play the field a bit, see what's out there. I think personally she should be single for like at least like a half a year to a year to kind of fully to grow with it, to grow on her own, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of guys are going to want women that have their own self-confidence.
And don't stop going to therapy and consider getting a male therapist.
I think there's a lot of things she could do. That could be one of them. And I just sometimes, man, when you have some time to be single and to grow on your own, that's the most important thing because
Yo,
it
Xenon
allows you.
is a fucking savage sometimes, yo. Oh my god.
Yo, yo.
But again, this is why I did not show her face. I didn't say her name. I'm not giving you any real personal identifiers because that would be unfair to her.
But I think this is that she needs to do a lot of self-reflection and self-growth, and you can't do that in a relationship, in my opinion. Now, your partner, like I'm in a very serious relationship, you're in very serious relationships.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely grow together, right?
Right.
But in the precipice, like the very beginning of our relationships, we were very secure with who me and you were as people, right? In a large sense, right? We had at least some semblance of a direction. And I think with her and the girls that we dated had a good semblance of direction. I think she's currently, like, to use a boat term, she's rudderless right now.
Right.
I
think we all know what that means.
Yeah, so she don't know where she's going in life. And I think if she takes some time to find happiness within herself, she'll find the dating field to be like far more successful. Because let's just call it how it is, man. It is so much easier as a woman to date than as a man. Because as a woman, you're gonna have.
I'll push back on that, but continue.
But as like a very even average looking woman, I've never seen this girl, so I don't know what the scale is. But like, you have more options than an average looking dude, right? I'm not saying like you're gonna be pulling like a millionaire.
That's definitely the case.
But if you're gonna, apples to apples, average to average, an average female is gonna get way more value than an average male.
Right? Absolutely, there's no question.
So there's
a huge caveat to that though. And this blew my mind when I actually figured this out. I'm gonna give you
Xenon.
Yeah, I saw it. I didn't put it up on the screen. I didn't put it up for a reason. Okay, but yeah, Xenon. And I hope okay. So I'm gonna tell you guys a story. Okay. When I was working at a shipping company, way back when, right? And you notice how I don't give very specifics because, I don't want to unfairly ding anybody's or even any company or corporation's reputation by virtue of my experience with them, right? So you see how, and anybody has ever known, I spent 6 years at that company and almost gave my life to that company, okay? I almost lost my life at this company, okay? I still don't mention the company name for a reason, because somebody else may take that kind of job and they may have a better experience, but it's not up to me to ruin it for them, which is why I don't mention the name of the company, right? Why I'm not mentioning this woman's name, why I'm not mentioning her exact age, because obviously when you look at what she wrote, she's not comfortable with that information being out there. And so, but the thing is, I'm the type of person, I'm going to protect your confidence because that's just kind of how I'm built, right? So
yeah, it's decent. It's
Right.
decency.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll give you guys the conversation because this is the conversation, right? But I'm not going to be telling you what her name is and what her exact age is. It's unfair to her. Okay. So when I was at this shipping company, we were walking down the street in Midtown Manhattan, right? A bunch of us are wearing dirty clothes because, we're dealing with dirty packages, right? And I think we got to 9th Avenue on 42nd Street, near Times Square, right? So there's like 6 or 7 of us who had just gotten off shift, and we get to the curb. To our collective left is an average attractiveness woman. I'd probably say 5, maybe 6. Average to cute, somewhere in that range. Okay. When she turned to her right and she saw us, right, a bunch of guys in dirty uniforms or parts of uniforms, and she had this most disgusted look on her face. Right? So, not even 10 seconds later, while we're still standing here waiting for the light, also, we're all black guys, by the way. Right? The guys that do the dirty work at this particular company, at this particular location, you're not going to find any well-to-do black guys doing the job that I was doing at that time. It's well-to-do white guys doing that job. It's all, younger or lesser skilled, manual labor. We're talking about black guys. Let's just keep it a buck. Okay. Here she is, an average to slightly above average in attractiveness white woman. A white man pops up on her left. Right. She looked to the right. It was like, ugh. She looked to the left. Her whole body language instantly changed. This was a turning point in my life, folks. Her whole body language, her countenance, the look on her face, before she had like this tenseness, the shoulders fell, her face fell. Right? She went from this disgusted, almost like, when a cat kind of tenses up. Mm-hmm. As soon as she saw this white man in a suit on her left, all of a sudden, her whole and so what that taught me was this. A lot of times guys complain about women wanting attention, but then when they get it, they get upset. But here is the real thing, and this is why I'm pushing back on you saying that the average woman has a better time dating than the average man. Because that woman is definitely going to get more attention than the man. But is she getting the attention that she wants from men? See, she doesn't want attention from Dr. Evil, age 20, 21, trying to stave off homelessness, doing a dirty job, a back-breaking job, right? She doesn't want my attention. The ego boost she gets is minimal because in her eyes, I'm not worth anything. So, for example, on dating apps, I always say fit women only, but 9 out of 10 of them are obese. I'm not interested. Should my ego be blown up because, they tried to match with me? No, I don't feel any ego boost because that's not the attention I want. You get what I'm saying? So it's easy to say that women have an easier time dating. It is not true because here's what it is. The average woman has been told that they are the pretty, above average, hot. They're being told that they're 7, 8s, 9s, and 10s when they're really 3, 4, 5s, and 6s. Mm-hmm. So in their mind, I deserve the top guys. But here's the problem. Being average is not bad. It's just average. But if you think that you are a 5 or maybe even a 6 on your best day, and you think that you're going to have consistent long-term access to the top 15, 10, and 5% of men, you're out your goddamn mind.
Yeah, but this is what I'll say.
So they want the top 10% guy.
Yes.
And they're struggling to get him. So their struggle level is about the same as us.
Yo, how many can we just there's some cases of that, but can we just see it, bro? Like, there's some people I went to school with back in the day that you look at, like, you know, they date dumpster fires and shit. Like,
in high school, you mean?
Yeah, like in high school, like way back in the day, like I hate to say it, certain people.
Why do you think they did that?
Various different cases. I think some actually got a little bit humbled, but I also think some just are going beneath. How do I put this? Not to be a dick, but just kind of going beneath their market value or what their range could be.
Let me ask you something. You're talking about high school, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much market value does a high school male have when he has no income? Because that is what we're judged on as males. Can you bring home the bacon?
Mm.
Of those kids that you saw in high school, how much value did they have, real value could they possibly have in a sexual marketplace if the best place they could probably work at is Foot Locker?
Mm. No, you're not wrong. But
so they had access to what they had access to. These men, these young men didn't have any real value in the sexual marketplace, so they got what they had access to.
Yeah, but
the market always talks.
I'm referencing a lot of the women you'll see. Like it's like I said, I think you're right to some degree, but I do think just overall it is a far easier dating experience because you're gonna have. A woman's going to find somebody that's at least decently attractive fairly easily on dating profiles. Like, you know,
let me prove to you my point. I'm going to prove to you my point. Check this out. Hey, Xenon. Xenon says, I care more about the woman being honest and knowing what she wants over looks. Okay, Xenon, can you type in the chat how much money you make per year? Just type that in the chat for us. We'll wait. Continue what you were saying. I'm about to prove this point about market value. Go on ahead.
What, me?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, man, like, I just think I kind of lost my point. I lost track of my fucking point, what I was saying, but
okay. Sorry. So I'm going to put this comment back up. This is to prove my fucking point. I care more about the woman being honest and knows what she wants over looks. I said, yo, put your yearly salary in the chat. You see that?
Yeah, 0.
Okay. So, men that don't have a lot of value in the sexual marketplace are going to take what they can fucking get. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you're not making any money as a man, you cannot rightfully expect the average to above average woman. If you're making $0 a year, you're in the bottom 10% of men.
Mm-hmm.
Newsflash, 100% of the women don't want you. And this is not about judging you. This is not about mocking you. This is reality, folks. This is reality. So a woman can be upset that she's being sexualized. Well, guess what? That is your value in the sexual marketplace. And the reason why I know you know that, young lady, is because right out the gate, you wanted to make it very, very clear that sex would not be on the table. Because you wanted to exchange the sex for security. Because you know that is the currency that you have to trade with as a woman. You know that because you're grown. You're a grown-ass woman. Xenon understands why he's single. Because when it comes to what he can offer to a woman that a woman would care about, He doesn't have anything yet. Not yet. You see, here's one of those things that is one of those harsh truths. The thing is that women have a lot of value starting at age 18. Okay? That they didn't have to work for because they're just young and they're at their best looking. Stuff they didn't have to earn. They didn't have to earn the high value they have at age 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So, what is their job? To preserve their value the best way they possibly can. We men have to create value because at age 18, we are worthless to women. Did you not see that article a couple of years back with Jennifer Lopez? They had all these articles talking about how she says that she said that men are absolutely useless below the age of 30, she said. Did you see that?
I vaguely remember that, but yeah.
Right? See, a lot of guys got upset about that. But I'm here to tell you, folks, the reality is she was right. Because the vast majority of men don't really hold a lot of societal value because in their environments, they have not moved the needle any. They don't have a network of people who are creating value. They don't have economic stability. So when women look at men for what women value men for, because men are objectified for their success, women will look at guys below the age of 30 and say, yo, you are absolutely worthless to me.
But aren't you kind of just proving my point that for women, it's far easier for them to date because there's way more expectations on a man to provide?
On the surface, I agree with you. But if you actually dig deeper, how many of those men actually exist?
What, like hardworking, making good money at the age of 30 or above? It's not like
just any age. Just any age.
Any age?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like there's been an issue, especially with the younger generation, because there's not enough male role models. Even my generation, actually,
right?
Too.
Let me ask you this question, Paul. What do you think is the gold standard for a man? And I'm talking about earnings. I'm talking about yearly earnings. What do you think is the gold standard for economic stability in terms of dollars per year earned by a man? Six figures. Right there. 6 figures. This is something that has been a standard for over 35, 40 years. Mm-hmm. That is the standard of what, when people say, oh, that guy's going somewhere. That guy is successful, right? What is the 6 figures? So we're talking at least $8,333.33 per month. Minimum. What percentage of men in this country earn that amount?
I don't know off the top of my head, but it's not like it's obviously when you make 6 figures or above, you're in a pretty small percentile. I don't know the number off the top of my head. So
anybody in the chat know that number? Anybody in the chat can tell us what is the percentage of men in the United States that earn 6 figures per year, starting at 100,000, 0 cents per year. Anybody in the chat want to take a guess or know the figure? What percentage of men, any race, creed, religion, doesn't matter, across the board? Xenon guessed 3%. Yo, Xenon is a savage today. Depends on how much money the government prints. Whoa, shit.
So like
Yeah,
I'm
we're gonna talk about potential value. We're gonna talk about this. We are going in today.
So I get household earnings, which isn't because that would include the husband.
That would
and the
include
wife.
everybody in the house. The
Right,
household.
which is not difficult to. Okay, I'm not saying arrogant, but that's not difficult to obtain. You get.
No, do you have that number? Do you have that number? What the average household?
Average household is
69, right?
So, what percentage of American men or actually 100K a year? My guess would be between 6 to 8%. According to U.S. Census Bureau, only 6.03% of individuals over 18 and only 19.9% of households have incomes over 100,000 or more in 2010. So, probably around
10%, 9%.
Yeah, like not household. It seems like it's about 20% if you're or probably
Right.
15 to 20 for like as together income. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
together income. So yeah, no, it's a very small percentile.
Mm-hmm.
That being said,
Mm-hmm.
I do think six figures the gold standards. That's what I've got.
Mm-hmm. What is the
But
gold standard in height? We talked about this before. What's the gold standard?
6 foot.
6 foot, right?
Yeah.
Would a woman want to see a guy that has a beer belly or a 6-pack?
Oh, 6-pack.
Okay. So now we've got the mark of the wild beast, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
666. 6 figures.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
6 foot, 6-pack. These are the things that makes the sexual beast in a woman go wild.
Well, like my
okay.
So this is the thing, though, right? And I think the key thing is a lot of these issues come down to men not taking the right paths in life, in my opinion, to get that. Because I think me or you, right, we make a very good living, right? Very, very good living. And I'm not saying it doesn't take hard work, but I think you got to be very smart in your decision. Don't forget. Oh, yep, that's right. That's right. You can't forget that.
But that's more of a modern thing. We'll touch on that in a minute.
But yeah, no, like I think when it comes down to it, dating, it's a very small percentage, but you'll find someone that even makes 60, 70 a year, like man willing to date a woman that makes like 20 a
But
year.
here is the reality, Paul. Here is the motherfucking reality. Okay? We've just established that somewhere between 8 or 9% of men in the United States make $100,000 a year or more. We've established that. Do you know what the average yearly earnings is for a man in this country?
I think it's like 35.
No, somewhere.
40.
No, that's for women, black women in particular. But it's somewhere around $45,000 to $50,000 a year. Okay, about somewhere in the 40.
That makes sense
range.
because when I worked at I worked a hard labor job. That was my base salary, not including OT. It was like 45. So that makes sense.
So, where I'm going to push back on you, Paul, and I'm going to take slight offense to what you said on behalf of the common man, is that the average man being average is not a bad thing. It's not that they took bad roads in life, because in any society, there's going to be people at the top and there's going to be people who are in the middle. Those people in the middle are vital to the structure of society. One of the things I loved, because when I first started listening to Kevin Samuels, I thought he was a fucking asshole. But then, because I got on my fucking feelings and actually listened to everything he was saying with my rational mind, I understood that what he is saying is that he is speaking for men in the top 10%, and then the 10% after that want to be in the top 10%, right? He is speaking to those guys because, like it or not, because of what modern womanism has told modern women. Don't settle. You deserve everything. And if you're 300 pounds, don't worry, girl. You got this because you've got a college education. If you've got a master's degree and you got this, that, or the third. And what men should want is what you're bringing to the table, but then these women aren't getting married. Why? Because number one, you're going to say that you're not going to settle. Okay, I need every single. If you listen to all of the interviews that Kevin Samuels have done with women, high 90 percentile, they all say six figures or more.
Mm.
And I've seen women that look like walruses, that look like all kinds of farm animals, talking about how they want a high value man. We're talking about women who are objectively 2s, 3s, 4s. We're talking about women who are morbidly obese. They're all being told, because they have a master's degree or a doctorate degree, that they deserve a guy that makes more money than them.
But to flip the script on you, because we've even said this multiple times, those women are the minority, right? Like those, those type of women are the minority. Listen. There's nothing.
But they're a large minority.
There's nothing wrong, like you said. There's nothing wrong with making an average salary. I'm not.
There's nothing wrong with being an average man.
Right. What I do have an issue with, though, and this just goes on both sides, is don't complain about your reachability or what you're able to get, right? If you're not willing to put in the work to improve yourself, right?
Right.
Because I see that, and I agree. I don't disagree. Like a woman that is massively
this
obese,
applies to some women, McFadful.
That's massively obese or has a lot of different issues, or she's expecting she's like a 6 and she expects a 10 with 160. That's unreasonable, right?
Right.
But the same thing I could say with some dudes, they want like 10s, but I'm like, bro, you work at don't disrespect, you worked at Wendy's, right?
Right.
There's gotta be.
The hottest chick you have a chance with is that chick with the red hair on the side.
yo. But like my thing is this, man, is I think a lot of it comes down to self accountability, and if you're fine being average, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to obtain the next level, you have to put the work in.
Here's the problem with that. If you don't have average guys, let's say everybody is in Wall Street and everybody is a stock trader.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to pave the fucking roads? Who's going to build the buildings? Who's going to keep the power plants going so you can continue to trade stocks digitally? Who is going to actually keep the world going?
I'm not stating to get rid of the average dude. I'm not. But if every
average dude did what you said, then what would we have?
Because not every average dude is going to do that. Not every average dude is going to have the work ethic to put it in. Let's just cut the.
No, those average dudes have crazy work ethic. They put in hours and hours and hours and hours a day doing the grunt work. Just like you. You're a good example. You're doing a job that 99% of women would not even consider. You're doing the hard work. Do you want to tell? Look, because let's because there are women, because you track at about 6 figures or a little bit more. That's where you're tracking, right? Do you know how many of these women that shout, "I want a man that makes 6 figures," that wouldn't even date you because you don't wear a suit and tie to work every day?
Oh no!
You know 100%. How many?
Listen, dude. I'm not. I think maybe I'm just putting it in a poor way. What I'm saying is there's average dudes for a reason, and I'm not saying they don't work hard. What I'm saying is some guys, they like their life, they like how it's constructed, they don't want to put certain steps to make themselves earn a certain potential. Because I was there, bro. Like I was making 45 a year, and then I was like, fuck this. I'm going to continue my trading and take the proper steps to be a high earner, right? So like I took that step, I put that extra work ethic in to get it done. Mm-hmm. I'm not bashing these people. I'm not bashing these people for that. I'm just saying it's just not every dude's going to do that, man. Like there's a lot of people that get comfortable, right? I'm not saying they're not hardworking, but just call it how it is. I know dudes that could have done far better in their life, but they're comfortable. And I think
we all could have. But what if we did? Like seriously, what if we actually all did better? What if we all did? Because the thing is, every man that I've ever met has huge potential. Okay? Mm-hmm. Huge. I'm talking about non-athletic, non-artistic potential. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
If every single one of those men did better, what kind of world would we be living in right now today if everybody was a goddamn stockbroker?
Right, we wouldn't have all the necessary infrastructure jobs that we currently would need to fill. I get that, but the problem is that's just not realistic. Not everyone's going to take those certain steps, right? They're just not. Some people aren't going to. Some people don't like getting out of their comfort zone. They just don't.
I don't.
They
I
don't.
think. I think it's really uncomfortable to work for next to slave wages every day, all day, and then you get off of that shift and you go work another shift, and then when that shift is over, you go work another shift.
Right,
I think
but
that is
but
extremely uncomfortable.
how many of those same guys have you seen that will complain about it? I'm just speaking from personal experience.
A
with
lot of
friends.
those guys don't even complain.
Well, I have some buddies that have complained, oh, like, I'm doing this and this, and like, bro, like, yeah, man, you should do this, give you a path, and like they won't even explore it. They won't even take that step forward. Like that's just my own personal experiences where I've seen guys that are super educated, like could really do well, right? Really do well in a different field and like put forth some effort so they can make more money, but they're stuck they're trapped in that loop, right? I'm not trying to get this off discussion, but I'm just being honest. They get trapped, like, oh, like, whatever. I'll just do my 9 to 5. I'll do more like my 9 to 9. And it's just like they get stuck and trapped in that loop, which is something that, realistically, not every man can make 6 figures, right? That just it's not sustainable.
So do you understand why for the average modern woman, why they're having as much trouble dating?
But that's their own fault. That's their own fault because they have unrealistic. They have unrealistic expectations. If you are an average female,
when we normally hear that phrase. Who do we normally hear that phrase from?
What?
When we hear unrealistic standards. Who do we normally hear that from?
I'm drawing a blank. Who? Oh, I don't know.
Your body positive people.
Oh,
unrealistic standards of beauty, right? They get to whine and cry, but then again, they don't give a fuck about the male struggle because the only thing that they care about is that guy goes and makes that motherfucking money. They're not trying to hear nothing else.
But if women were just like, not all of them, but those women that had that issue were just more realistic and looked at themselves, actually had true self-reflection, they'd be far more happier.
Oh, no doubt.
Because like an average dude, average woman together, man, like they can, make it above average life.
A nice life.
Yeah, you can make you have a good household. Like I said, man, 50,000, make 100,000 a year. You live pretty comfortably.
I agree with that, but then I just realized that you have corporations and hedge funds buying up all of the single family homes to make sure that nobody can afford to buy a home, which isn't that part of the American dream? So we've got to, back in the day, a man could make $30,000 a year, and that was enough for housing, 2 cars, pets, putting their kids through school. But as we've seen and we've explained in previous shows, how the corporate structure has flooded the marketplace with cheaper labor. And we're not talking about people from south of the border. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if these women are looking for men of higher economic status, and very few of these men are in that bracket, and you're talking about the top 80% of women really only care to look at the top 15 to 10% of men, dating is going to be really fucking difficult. Very, very difficult, right? If we're not making any real money, we're just flat out invisible to women, period. If you're below 6 feet and you're not blinging, you're invisible to women. And that has its own issues. But if you're a woman who is waiting for Drake to come save her, dating is going to be very difficult for you. Right?
Just Drake singing, "You're a good girl, and you know it."
Yeah. So she says at the end of the diatribe. So I'm going to go back to what she was saying. I listened to episode 1 before this. You've been through trauma yourself. How effective is breaking someone down at teaching others a good lesson. Well, young lady, me bringing you up was not to tear you down. You feeling torn down is a decision made by you and no one else but you. Because the lesson that I had to teach yesterday, and why I said dating sucks for both sexes, there is a reason. Because this is a man-focused channel. But I opened up the title to the episode because what I was doing was talking about your struggles and why it's difficult for you, being more of a traditional woman in values, than what's actually out there on the market, where people are swiping left, swiping right, their body counts are going through the roof. She did not do those things. So she is trying to find her way in a modern dating world, and now she's feeling pressure to date a way that is not only foreign to her, but also, if we're really being honest, and I'm sorry, guys, to the women that might be listening to this, might start keeping her knees closed when I say this, so you might get a little bit less of that action. But I have to say this. Here is a woman who has kept her legs closed to a man that she doesn't have some sort of commitment with, that is also reciprocating that commitment. And here she is feeling the pressure to start dating the way other women have dated, which is why previously in the conversation I said it is best that you don't try to do this modern dating thing, because you have the right approach, right? So this is not about tearing her down. And Xenon, no, I'm not speaking to her now. I'm actually reading what was in my fucking inbox as I woke up this morning. This is not about, the thing is, when you teaching lessons, if you feel torn down, that's your motherfucking business. How you interpret what I say, I'm not responsible for. I'm only responsible for what I actually say. So what you're doing here, even though you come off as this really nice young lady, is accusing me of trying to break people down. That means that you seem to think you know what my intentions are.
Sorry.
That is a display of arrogance.
Yeah.
You see, you could have fucking asked the question, well, why would you do this? Why would you do that? Right? Well, and she asked it in question form, but it's in an accusatory, she's using accusatory language, the way that she framed it. And it's like, no. You chose to be torn down by what I said. If you were actually listening with your rational mind instead of in your feelings, and that's why I said, when I responded, I said, I said, I see that you did not listen to the entire show all the way through. And her response was, I did listen to it. No, you didn't listen. You heard words. And then when you heard words that hit your delicate, flower heart, and bless it, I'm glad that your heart is the way it is. But you check the fuck out. That is not my responsibility. This is the real fucking world. And this is the difference. This is the difference between the modern man and the modern woman. You see, the modern woman can't afford to just think about thoughts, feelings and what should be, and this utopian mindset. You can afford that. We men cannot afford to live our lives thinking, well, this is the ideal situation. We can't afford that. We talked about you and the ship captain, right? In the way that he dealt with you, right?
Yep.
Right? Reality is, it would have been nice if he would have spoke to you with the respect due to somebody you don't know. But that's not what happened.
Right.
Right? Now, you could have reacted the same way, but what would have been your fate?
Oh, it would have been just far worse.
Far worse.
Yeah.
Why? Because that man worked his way up. He worked his way up to a place where he could make that kind of mistake and not pay for it. Because he's in that position of power.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you would have treated him exactly the way he treated you, what would have happened to your career?
It would have probably been hindered in some way, shape, or form.
Exactly. Right? Now, in the perfect world, if one man says something to you that is disrespectful, you should be able to respond in like kind. But is that reality?
No.
Should you have acted in the idealist mindset or with reality in mind?
Reality.
Right.
Reality, because that's what we live in. It's not
that's what we live in.
We live in this reality. Some people don't think we do, but we do.
Right? If a woman fails in her career, doesn't the government come to her rescue?
A lot of the times, yeah.
Okay. Now,
excuses.
As a man, if we fail, who can we go to for assistance?
Food stamps.
Not even. Not even.
I'm sorry. Like, no,
not even.
I know, but
you go sleep in front of the Dwayne Reed.
Yeah. I just think when it comes down to it, I'm actually surprised how much. I'm surprised she didn't reference it me, because I was pretty harsh. You were pretty good.
Oh no, I'm not finished.
Oh God,
I'm not finished.
Oh no.
So since you mentioned that, let's continue.
Uh-oh.
If you truly mean what you preach, that you want to leave every interaction with another person better off, then I wish you would take down that episode and keep this exchange between us private.
Uh-oh.
Okay? I don't care for this attention and don't deserve this public shame. Newsflash! No one knows who the fuck you are!
Nobody.
Nor do they actually care.
You've never even mentioned a name. I can't
no names.
I can't even tell me a fucking age bracket. You're just like, yeah, like from 18 to fucking 60. So
yeah, exactly, right?
Yo, and you can't say Asian, because how many fucking Asians are there on dating websites? So, sorry, go ahead.
Right? You see what I mean?
I know. Go ahead.
The absurdity. Okay? I hear the critiques and will remove my dating app profile. I wasn't trying to hurt you or anyone. Nobody said you were. Nobody said that you had ill intentions. Nobody. Even the most harsh criticisms from my chat and my co-host never once impugned your motives. Yeah. But do you see how, again, the rational mind is not processing a motherfucking thing?
Because she's acting emotionally. And listen, I can get it to a degree, because you understand with women, they are just going to emotionally react to pretty much everything. And I'm not saying that demeaningly, I'm just being honest. Just personal experience, just fucking experience in general. So I get it. When you're getting personally attacked, or you feel like you're getting personally attacked, right? Mm-hmm. You're going to react in a very emotional way.
Even men are subjected to that.
So, like, yeah. I get that. But if she understood, outside of some of the loud, joking insults, like, she realized, like, listen, like, at the core, she's a great girl. But at the same time, like, so. You have issues that you need to address, and you need to address them before you even think of being in a relationship.
Yeah, I'm gonna counter what Xenon said, because again, Xenon says, to be fair, you're putting extreme pressure on her. She probably has never experienced before.
She doesn't know. Okay, Xenon? What's her name? What's her name? What's her age? What's she look like? Was there anything on here that you put up on here? Did you put a screenshot?
That is point number one. I'm gonna give you point number two. I'm going to give you point number two, why this thought is invalid. Because the pressure she feels is a decision. She could literally take the approach of, I don't have shit to change. Who the fuck are you? Go fuck yourself. Mm-hmm. Yes, you cannot possibly identify her, because I took steps to protect her identity. because I understand the value of this. You understand? Like, I understand reality. I don't want her life to be worse. I want her life to be better. And if she was actually listening and not hearing, there's a difference. If you were actually listening, there are lessons in here for you to learn from that will make your dating experience in the future a whole lot smoother. But instead, you're clutching at your pearls. Oh my God, you're clutching at your pearls. I'm so offended. Stop worrying about being offended and worry about how you can improve your status in life, because obviously, if you can be coaxed into or prodded into doing some dating shit you don't want to do, then you're not where you want to be in life.
Nope, not at all.
If you're doing the things you don't want to do, something has to change.
So,
And guess what? And I've said it at the outset, and I'll say it again. You want to say that I'm judgmental and cruel? Here's the reality. Reality is judgmental and cruel. And the sooner you figure that out, a lot of this shit gets a lot easier to deal with.
So, what else did she say? Was that pretty much the whole summary?
Oh, I got more for you. For you.
Let's keep going down this list. I'm kind of interested to see what she said.
Yeah. After listening to your pilot episode, I thought, while a little too much cursing for my taste.
Uh-oh.
So, let's get into it. Why do you think I titled this Modern Women Don't Know Shit About Men? Why do you think I titled it? Because of that fucking statement right there. Oh, and by the way, the fucking cursing is here to stay.
Listen, you know what?
Understand?
Because from this day forward, I'm just going to say G Willikers, Jinkies, Zoinks, like when I get surprised, like, ooh, 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 evil. Oh, that is so mean. I can't, bro. I just can't, dude. Like, ooh, like really, what is the name? What is the name of this show? What is the name of this show, dude? Dude, it's literally called Talking Shit. That's literally the name of it. When you click on this link, dude, you know what? For the rest of this episode, bro, I'm gonna use different words instead of swearing. Like, oh fudge.
Oh my God.
Fudge.
See,
so stupid.
You see.
Fuck me. Oh, fiddlesticks.
Jumping Jehoshaphat. But again, I have to make this really fucking clear. I have to make this clear. You know you're dealing with a delusional woman when she is trying to chide you on using expletives. You have to understand something, young lady. You communicate like a lady. Thumbs up. Good for you. But guess who you're talking to? You're talking to a grown-ass man. That's who you're talking to. And this is the way that men communicate. Every man that you've ever known, when not in your presence, they're cursing like sailors. Oh, and by the way, we men, we don't like it when women curse all that much. I mean, me personally, I don't really care. I don't really care.
I'm literally a sailor. Like,
Yo! It just hit me! Yo! You're like, I'm literally a sailor, right?
Bro, like, legitimately, there is no way, like, this is just my work environment when I'm chopping up with dudes. But, like, bro, we swear so much, but like for the rest of this episode, bro, I'm gonna be like, oh fudge, oh fiddlesticks, oh Stacy, like come on, bro, like who talks like that, bro? Like no man, like to me, no man worth his like. There's a oh my god, Marcia, like that. Oh fiddlesticks, we could go tomorrow. Like you just made it oopsies. Like nah, you fucked up. Like who? Like I just can't stand that. Like if that's honestly gonna be a critique. Something called "Go Suck Some Straw." Well, she's definitely, she's not doing that right now.
Yeah, we're gonna. Okay, so this show, like, it made it very clear to me why she's 0 for 5 in successful relationships, because she does not understand. She does not understand men at all, and see, Xenon. You failed again, sir. I'm disappointed in you. She ain't delusional. She prefers to be around a man who curses lightly around her. Well, if you actually look at everything that I said, yeah, the expletives that I've used in actual conversation with her was kept to a minimum because I show that proper respect. You see, she got mad at the cursing on our show. Who is our target audience? Yeah. Grown ass men.
Like I don't be cussing like that crazy around my fiance, and I assume you don't be cussing like crazy.
Oh no, I do.
Girls
and I swear. And Mrs. Evil and the other Mrs. Evil, and the other one curses in 2 languages now. Okay, she curses in Korean, because she's Korean, okay? So, yes, I do know what the fuck I'm talking about when it comes to Asian culture. I've been with an Asian woman for almost 9 years.
Yeah, Evil likes the Asian persuasion. You know what I mean?
This nigga right here.
Yeah.
Okay? So, you're talking about, like, stereotypes and all this shit. I understand the goddamn culture. I took a black man twice my size to task on this very show for opening his mouth when he didn't know what he was talking about, right? When I talked about Asian culture and how boys are treated and how girls are treated and the burden that is put on the girl as she grows up in various Asian nations, I know it because I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I would not be commenting on something that I didn't actually have accurate knowledge in.
So, what else do you say? I want to go through this whole thing. I'm very interested. So swearing's a no. So fiddlesticks. Okay, continue. What else? What nuggets of knowledge do I need to learn? Because I'm here. I
appreciated what I thought you were trying to build. A bridge between a divisive world and space to heal from some of the pain for many young men that they suffered. Sorry, lady. We're not women. This is not a place to heal from the pain. This is a place to learn how to be the best version of yourself so that you can stay out of situations that cause you more pain. Because that is the reality for the modern man. Pain. There's no healing here. I'm not a fucking therapist. That's not what we do here. This is about helping men solve the problems in their lives so that they can get to the next stage to get the outcomes they want. Yes, we need to heal a divisive world. How do we do that? We let people talk their shit.
No,
this is what we do here. We let people speak their piece, however it is they want to speak it. I offered you the opportunity to come on the show and speak your piece on your behalf.
So
I told you that yesterday on yesterday's show. I read verbatim what I said to her. You are welcome to come on the show. I told her that. But I'll continue. I'll continue. I thought you wanted to foster stronger, better, kinder men. Sorry, lady. Sorry, lady.
What do you mean? I am super kind.
Sorry, kinder is not going to get men where they want to be. Now, if he's a man of value that just happens to be kind, thumbs the fuck up. I'm not going to say that he's any less of a man. But kindness is not where men derive success. That's where women derive their success. And again, and this is why I titled this, The Modern Woman Doesn't Know Shit About Men. And she's proven it. Nowhere in the pilot episode did I ever say I was looking to build kinder men. Go back to the pilot episode. Did I say anything about being kinder men?
Right, like, I feel like you're being a little bit too harsh right now.
Yeah. Captain Poe, folks, his feelings.
I was just listening to some Drake, and she's got some valid points. I'm gonna be the soft, sensitive type this episode.
And you know what's crazy about Drake though? Because I never listen to any of his songs, but I trust the people that have looked at what his songs are about.
Yeah.
And then I see how he acts in public. Yo, did you know that Drake was supposed to work with a singer, right? Right? He flies her and her boyfriend. He flies her and her boyfriend out. He flies them out, right? While they are all together wherever the fuck they were, he fucked dude's girl.
Yeah, that is utterly savage. Like,
okay, now this is the guy that talks all of that soft shit, right? But you turn your neck for a sec and your dame's missing.
Yeah, that doesn't. Not surprising.
So, and this is the thing that really, really makes me feel conflicted, because it's obvious that she has good traditional values. But she has this modern woman's way of thinking, and that's why you're single, lady. That's why you're single.
Damn.
Because if you're going to have success in the modern dating sphere, either you're going to have to go all the way modern, you're going to have to go all the way traditional, or, and this is the harder thing to do, you're going to have to take the best traits of the traditional woman and mix it with the very best traits of today's modern woman in order to be successful.
You Democrats have, like, ruined everything.
Fuck you. I'm not political, you fucking asshole. I'm left-leaning, okay? I'm left-leaning.
I'm playing you. Like, all jokes aside, man, like, for me, it's like, come on. Like, it's just unrealistic. I don't know. I don't, it's like, there's so much wrong with this. Keep reading
and the thing, and again, I don't believe that she has ill intentions whatsoever. I think she's a wonderful human being. I see a lot of value in being an idealist. But where I draw the line is the delusion and the arrogance that comes out of the delusion. That's where I draw the line. Yo, this is a fucking bar right here, son. Kindness gets you stepped on. Not like stairs, more like an escalator. Why do you think that is? Because women are naturally hypergamous. They're always going to be looking, not all, but it's in their DNA. It's in their DNA to say, well, I think this guy is a better guy. I'm going to switch to that guy. Even the woman that you see here sitting next to me during the MMA watch parties, if you asked her, she would tell you, when I was at my worst, she was out entertaining or trying to get the attention of men that she thought was better than me. I'm not mad at her for it. We're still together because I understand. I wasn't performing. And that is how men are judged. There's no way you're going to get away from a judgmental environment. Every time you choose not to get hit by a truck when you cross the street, that's you making a judgment. Judgments are all the time, everywhere, constant. It is delusion. Shout out to mediocre tutorials and reviews. Delusion. The utter delusion to think that as a man, I'm supposed to be more like you as a woman. See, remember, and you know what? You want to hear some savage shit? Some shit that Mrs. Evil said to me when a chick that I was talking to walked off like she was somehow better than me. She said, yo, this shit fucked me up. Woo! She says, well, don't think anything is wrong with you because in that situation between you and her, who's single and who isn't? And I was like, holy shit. I was like, that is savage. Right? But she's right. Right? You're going to tell me how to run my show. You're going to tell me how to talk and how to do this, but where's your track record for success? Because bottom line, the only thing that matters is not your opinion of what you thought I said. Bottom line is, are you getting the outcomes you want out of life?
Mm-hmm.
And by your own words, young lady, the answer is very squarely no.
Nope.
If you want to ask me about the outcomes I'm getting out of life, the less kind I've gotten, the more successful I've become.
Yeah, I actually would have to agree with that. The more ruthless you become, the more successful you become. The more you just don't take anyone's fucking shit, more successful you become. Like, nice guys do finish last. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not saying not to be nice, but in a workplace environment and just in dating in general, just got to be a fucking...
I think it's a 50-50 shot, Waffles.
Ruthless prick.
He said, does this person also tell couples how to parent while having no children?
Yeah, probably.
I'd say it's a 50-50 shot because she has good traditional values, which tells me there's a good shot that she understands that, you probably shouldn't speak on that. But then there's another part of me that saw the delusion that is trying to insinuate that I, as a man, need to, somehow communicate more like a woman. Okay, so it's possible. That's what I'm saying, 50-50.
So is that pretty much the whole message right there?
No, I got more. I told you. She had some words for you, sir.
Oh, let's get to that because I'm actually fucking intrigued here. Yeah.
Okay. I thought you said the platform will welcome different views, but no attacking opposing people. Is it to exchange ideas and learn and improve with some shit-talking attitude? Yes, ma'am. You got something right.
There we go.
You got something right. But we're not attacking you. You felt attacked, and that's your business. That's not my business. You got to deal with that. Because I choose my words very fucking carefully. Because I know that all of these episodes are going to stay up on this channel. I'm not pulling them down, except for the stuff that we get the copyright strike for. But even then, those things are going up on Patreon. Patreon coming soon, folks. Okay? One cannot heal judgment with more judgment. Judgment is not anything to heal. It's what keeps us in line.
So,
what did I say we needed to bring back? What did I say we needed to bring back, Paul? Previous episode.
What we need to bring back? Fuck.
Shit. I just realized something.
What's that?
You were only there for half the episode.
Fuck you. It's not my fault. This shitty internet connection. On the
episode 17, folks. We need to bring shame back to society.
That's right.
We need shame. Shame is healthy.
Yep. Shaming my internet provider.
Yeah,
So
because they know what kind of website you go on at 1:30 in the morning. But that's none of our business. None of our business.
Okay.
Just the ISP's business.
Continue. I want to hear what this lady has said. Just say what she's got to say, and then I kind of want to respond. I want this.
Okay. Now, actually, I thought the next thing she said was, kind of pragmatic. I know you intend well, absolutely, because didn't we talk about it for 15 minutes, wanting to leave people in a better place than when we found them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Like, I didn't, yo, waffles. Yeah. But here's something she said that was pragmatic. And lady, you need more of this thinking. I know you intend well, and I'm not blaming you for creating content for the show. I am sharing that my thought as, however unintentional, the result is deeply painful to me. My emotions is not your problem. I am not your problem. But please be kind. Remove that episode or remove my words from it. I wish you well. Well, I thought that was probably one of the most reasonable things you said. But I'm going to respectfully decline because there are lessons for the men on this platform to learn from your example. You will do good in the world, however unexpectedly. Okay? If you want to learn how to be a better version of yourself, then you should subscribe to our channel and you should continue to watch. But if you're really that deeply hurt, drop the dislike, because the dislike button is right there. You can drop the dislike. You don't have to subscribe. You don't have to. Right? Or you can actually listen with an understanding ear and not an emotional ear. And then you can learn how to even be a better version of yourself. Because over here, I've got numerous examples of women, modern women, that are great women. Yeah, sure, they still don't know shit about men. But they're still good women who are open to learning and open to being better women, even as great as they are. I know several of them. I'm in a relationship with 2 of them. I've been with these women a combined total of almost 24 years. Almost 23 years. I know what the fuck I'm talking about.
So what?
So I said, funny. I see you did not listen to the entire show all the way through. I'm not going to say the rest of it because I have to protect somebody else's. Honor. I have to protect their secrecy. Okay. So I'm not going to say what I said next, but basically I gave her an example of something that happened recently that is along the same lines of, obviously you did not listen to the entire show the whole way through. And then I said, as for the rest of your assessment, I can certainly see your opinion and respect your opinion as such. Your opinion. The world doesn't need softer men. Soft men are part of why we're in so much trouble as a society. It's part of why you're struggling dealing with today's modern man. I don't have the time or patience, just woke up to go all in. Bottom line, in order for us to turn around the weirdness that is leading to unhappiness in society, men need to be better men, not neutered versions of women. And then she says, how it ended, your partner saying sweet, but are you getting sex to deal with this? To the public sexualized expression that feels so shameful and upsetting to me. I told you she had words for you, son. sorry. I say either way, I do wish you all the best. I'm glad you're getting the therapy you need. Keep going there and keep your mind open.
Oh,
now,
my God.
Anybody heard me cursing at her at all in that?
Oh, no.
So Xenon, you were off base because I choose my words very, very carefully.
Bro.
Right?
Okay.
I am a tactician. There is a reason why I picked up the nickname that I have. There's a reason. I'm a tactician. And when I'm at the top of my game, not only do I know what I'm going to say, I know what you're going to say before you say it.
Oh,
now,
man.
The rational part of me, the compassionate part of me, because I mix compassion and irrational, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I am going to give you enough string to hang yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you every opportunity to either prove how foolish you are or how wise you are by simply asking questions.
So that was the whole message.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. Oh, and then at that point, when I saw like that whole thing about, the sexualized expression and all that, and I was just like, yeah, I'm going to screenshot that and then I'm going to unmatch. So one of the things that I thought that was really, really funny, and this definitely gave me cause for pause, is that earlier in the engagement, she said that she was going to delete the profile. Mm-hmm. But had she deleted the profile, I would not have been able to read any of that shit. And when I replied to what she said, she was I swear to God, she was waiting for me to wake up. Because as soon as I typed in my response, I saw the little black dots going, showing me that she was already about to type. She had her motherfucking phone in her hand, and she was waiting to see what was going to come on the other side of that.
Mm.
Right? And then when I looked at it, I was like, listen, there is no way that she absorbed the wisdom I just gave her, and she's already typing, why I told you guys, she listened with her heart and not with her freaking brain. Right? She checked out in really key areas and she missed the point. So after a certain while, I got to cut it off because at this point, we're just talking in circles. But guess what you can't talk around? Guess what you can't talk around? You can't talk around the results.
So the one thing I'll say, because the whole sexualization shit.
I'm not going to front. I cringed a little bit when you said that shit. I was like, eesh.
What?
When you were saying, hey, but like, if you don't close the deal, I'm going to be mad at you. Like, because what was all that for if you're not going to... I know what you were thinking.
Yeah.
But she was clearly not thinking in her rational mind.
Bro,
see, when you made the sexualized comment, you didn't care about the sexual part. You weren't thinking about... You didn't even see what she looked like.
No.
I knew you were joking.
No, this is the thing. Like, even the tone I thought was kind of obvious. Like, oh yeah, like come on, bro. Like, legitimately, you can't take that super seriously. And
here's Blind Bat again with another typo, but he's right. You gave up what she wanted. You gave her drama. Mm. She just wanted to debate. It made her feel like she is somebody. Mm. Again, I knew she had her phone at the ready. Mm. And I'll go a step further. I would not be surprised if she's watching right now. I would not be surprised. But one thing that I do notice is I don't see any comments. Mm. And the thing is, and she knows this, I invited her to come. Yo, if you want a link to the show, we will put you right up there front and center, and you could tell us about how horrible and mean we're being by talking the absolute truth. See, I'm going to let you in on a little secret, young lady. That idealized world that you think everything should be, yeah, it's in my nature to want what you want too. In fact, when I used to do that Myers-Briggs shit, you know what they called me? The counselor idealist. Now, there's a lot wrong with the Myers-Briggs breakdown, right? But it did get something right, because I've been the counselor for my friends since the fucking beginning, right? And I've always looked at the world how I wanted it to be. And you know who got me out of that bullshit, out of that feminine mindset? My fucking father. He constantly tells me, you cannot deal with the world the way you want it to be. You got to deal with the world the way it is.
Mm.
The world is judgmental. Lady, you're going to be judged on your physical attractiveness. And I think she accused me of saying that she had an average body. I thought she had an above average body, personally.
I don't even know what this chick looks like.
I know, and you never will.
I never will.
Right?
I don't fucking care.
Right.
I just think.
But I'm just saying. Nah, because Papa Doc's real name is Clarence.
They had very nice parents.
Yo! But yeah, see, the thing is, I will say disrespectful things to Captain Paul, but Captain Paul understands as a man, and he understands context clues, and he understands body language between men. The fact of the matter is, young lady, you don't know anything about men, which is why you're 0 for 5 in these relationships, because one of the things I didn't see is any rings on your finger. No marriages. So you're a traditional woman who values traditional values, but the one thing that a traditional woman is measured by, you're 0 for. No marriages.
Well,
So instead of getting all upset and all emotional about blah, 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 how about you listen to a guy who, has been successful in his relationships?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? How about you listen to a guy in Captain Paul? How long you been with your girl, Captain Paul?
3 years?
Almost exactly, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we just had the anniversary the 17th. Yep. So.
Right?
Yep. And it's a very healthy relationship, very good give and take, and we don't fight at all. So it's just like, you got to understand, and I'll just put it in this perspective, is that Evil and myself, I could speak for myself definitely to this, is like, we've had relationships fail. Shit didn't work out, but you got to grow from each experience, and I don't think she's doing enough of the growing part. Right?
But I think that she's on the path, though. And
she is on the path, and that's commendable, and I think it's good.
Yeah.
Self-awareness.
Because a lot of these chicks are like, I don't need therapy. No, bitch.
So like, I'm not trying to tear her down and stuff like this.
Right.
But at the same time, like, sometimes the truth does hurt. Sometimes the truth is uncomfortable. And we're just giving her the honest male perspective. Mind you, me and you are going to have even different viewpoints, and we're, a lot of similar
went right
opinions.
at your fucking neck today.
Yeah. I don't know why. I'm just trying to wake up and shit. And like,
the best part of waking up.
But like,
my little captain in you.
But like, my thing is, it's like, yesterday, yeah, it was, a little bit strong, but just generally, man, like, sometimes you need like a fucking wake up call. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Where it comes down to is, you can't be living in this fantasy world and like, oh, like, but I had 5, they're all long-term relationships. Well, they still failed.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it doesn't matter if you ran a business for 5 years or fucking 5 minutes. If it failed, it failed. And you got to learn from those failures. I don't know who was at fault.
And the thing is, I don't know who was at fault in those relationships, right?
It
could have been on the guys, right? It could have been on the guys. She could have given them her whole best.
Yeah, and right? No, exactly. And she could have targeted the wrong type of dudes. Like, that's definitely a fucking case. But, generally.
But how do you target the wrong dudes? Well, first, you don't know a goddamn thing about men.
Exactly. And that's what it's from her interaction with you. It's kind of proving that point.
Yeah, Absolutely, because as I start to again replay the exchange, is she leaving these relationships because she wants a man to be nicer and gentler and kinder and all? We're men. The thing is, you are attracted to manly men. How do I know this? Because you clicked on my fucking page. I look the way that I look. I have the physique that I have, and my bio is written out a certain way. That's just what it is.
And he's got a big Asian person. He loves them.
See, this is his way of trying to get me back.
Yeah, I'm just saying, bro. Like, you got a type. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong.
I don't have a type.
You do.
My thing is, if you're, in the way that I see it is, and I think Kevin Sams is 100% right on this, right? Guys will gladly make the acquaintance of and date average looking women that are fit, feminine, and friendly. Okay? And I have to say, she fits all three categories. Is she a little bit delusional? Yes. But was she fit? Absolutely. Okay? Feminine? She's looking for me to be more feminine. What's more feminine than that? And friendly. Probably one of the most friendly intro messages I've ever gotten. Okay? So for a woman, so the thing is that I have So he's an overcooked sausage. Okay, so fit, feminine, friendly. I'm pretty sure she's like really, from what I gather, she knows at least 2 languages. Her English, I probably say I give her a B+, because the way that she types and the mannerisms she uses, I get the feeling that English is her second language. So she knows one more language than I do. Right? She's disciplined with her sexuality, right? She does take a measure of personal accountability. Like, I'm giving her all the credit that is due to her, right? The main issue is that I'm very, very clear in how I communicate, because I need to make sure that my message gets across exactly the way that I tailor it. And she was not listening to understand. She was listening with her feelings. Gentlemen, when a woman says that you need to be emotionally available and you have to have emotional intelligence, what they're really saying is they want you to interact with them as if you're a woman talking to a woman. Don't fall for the trap. And we're going to do an episode for you guys that are on dating apps. I'm going to kind of the womanese. I think I forget some dude in the manosphere uses that terminology. The womanese. It might be alpha male strategies. Shout out to him. I don't agree with everything that he says, but he's got a lot of good content. You can check him out. AMS. I'll try to decode the womanese for you. Because one of the things that I notice on these dating apps is that something that actually reminds me of something that Myron Gaines said about how men communicate overtly and women communicate covertly. Meaning that I'm going to tell Captain Paul that he's a fat fuck that lost 4 pounds. If I tell Captain Paul he's a fat fuck, how is Captain Paul going to respond to that?
All right, go fuck yourself.
Or either that or
just lose weight. No.
Exactly. Because that's how we men communicate. Now, if you tell a woman that she's fat, what kind of response can you expect?
It's not gonna be positive.
Yeah, she's not going to react to that well. Women are attracted to overt communication, But as you can see in this interaction with this one young lady, they don't deal with it very well. Right? So she wants kinder and gentler and, sprinkled with sugar on top. The fact of the matter is that you're in a situation where you're running the risk of dying alone. This is why Kevin Samuels has the tagline that has gotten him up to damn near 1 million subscribers. When he tells delusional women who are looking for this mythical alpha man that acts like a beta, this delusional thing going on, what he tells you to do is buy a dog, die alone. That's what he says. Because if you're a woman in your position and you're still going on with this delusion, that's what you have to look forward to, unfortunately. Because you're never going to find an alpha man that is going to become your beta.
No.
You're not going to find a guy that's going out there fighting the world and then he's going to come home with no calluses on his hands and no gruffness to his voice. Doesn't exist. And either you get on a man's program or you can stay right where you are. Men, pay attention. Women give horrible dating advice. They give horrible dating advice to other women, and if you actually let a woman tell you, she will make sure that you have a lifetime supply of Kleenex, and I'm talking about not Kleenex, Puff Plus with the lotion, and and a bottle of lotion, because you won't get anywhere. Everything that this woman said to me was all about political correctness. So completely political correct. Political correctness doesn't work, folks. Do you not see the environment that we are inhabiting today, ladies and gentlemen? Political correctness doesn't work. There is a reason why if I talk to a racist, I'm going to continue to still talk to them and reason with them as long as they show some way to be reasonable. But that politically correct, calling you a bigot and all this other bullshit, it doesn't work. It just turns people against you. Some of these people that were called bigots voted for Obama and then voted for Trump. Understand that. Ladies, understand. Any woman that ever watches this episode, understand something. It is not a knock on you that you don't know shit about men. It is a call to action. When I tell you, and I told both of my women this, they are in this house right now. They can hear what the fuck I'm saying because I'm the loudest motherfucker on the block. I told them directly to their faces, you don't know shit about men. And the proof is in the pudding. Did they get all, roar, roar, I am woman, hear me roar? No, they were like, oh. And then I proceeded to give them examples of, yeah, you don't know shit about men. You know what that is? That's humility that allows them to be in a position where they can be protected. Not just protected by my wisdom, but protected by their own wisdom. You see, the smart guy fucks up and learns from the mistake. The wise guy watches you fuck up from afar and learns from your mistake. This is why I'm not taking yesterday's video down, and I'm not taking this video down. Because every man, and really every woman, should see this interaction and know what the fuck this is all about. Because I want the guys who are struggling with women, the Waffles of the world, the Xenons of the world, yo, another bomb dropped. Yo, Clinks, I need you to get on your fucking grind and help me set up this fucking soundboard. Because I would have dropped the bomb sound for this. Men don't even know shit about being men, hence the fucking podcast. And if you're listening with your rational mind, if you're listening to understand and become better, then you're not taking this as a personal attack. You're taking this as a call to action. The fact that you're ignorant about men, take that and make that something that you can make yourself better with. Okay, so I don't know shit about men. So what should that behoove you to do? Listen to the fucking men.
Mm.
And I don't want to hear about, you do too much motherfucking cursing. And you need to be kinder and gentler. I'm a man. Now, I forgot she does have another option. She could marry a woman. But I kind of get the feeling that she's probably not attracted to women.
Mm.
You can't act like you're attracted to a man and then want him to be something other than what he is. That's insanity. So that's why I wore my puppy kicking bad guy shirt. Not because I kick puppies, but it's to prove a point. Our style of humor, it might offend you. So, this is the real fucking world. We're going to talk our shit. Usually Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays.
Mm.
We're going to talk our shit regardless, whether it's hurtful or not. Remember, it is your choice to be hurt by it. Because nobody else was hurt. I called this fat fuck next to me a soulless ginger.
And I called this condescending piece of shit useless. So, listen. You know, let this, shit. That's just how it is.
Where did they even get that from? Gingers have no soul. Like, where the fuck did they get that from?
That's actually medieval times because, like, they used to think redheads like were witches or some shit. So it kind of derived from that. Actually, they actually thought like people with red hair were like wizards or witches and shit, and they'd burn them at the stake. Yeah, it's actually pretty fucked up. So that's a microaggression, and I don't know if I feel comfortable in this place. I feel hurt. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna write you a nice long message on Bumble and make you realize about you to check your privilege.
I think that would probably, if you came across my Bumble, that would be the end of our friendship. Because that means that you would have to set up your account in such a way that I would lose all respect for you. Because let's just say that my settings are not set to everyone. Okay? They're not set to everyone.
Mm. Oh, so just Asian women. I get it. Just get it. I understand now. I'll find some Google images. I got you.
But the thing is, like, I've heard a lot of black women complain about how, from a racial point of view, that, they aren't as respected or as desired in society. But, Asian women are at the top of that totem pole. That's because of the perception. And one of the things that I was talking to somebody about this not that long ago. But, I think I was talking to my sister about this. If we weren't talking about any of the socio-political stuff, if you actually thought about just pure sexual attractiveness, black women would be at the top. Just on plain, like, if you didn't know anything about her personality and you just looked at waist to hip ratio, what the assets look like, the symmetry in the faces, just the total package, black women will be ranked very, very highly. But the issue isn't physical attractiveness. If we're talking about If we're just talking about an attractive black woman, we're not talking about the ones that are 300 pounds. We're not talking about those. With right,
The ones
like
that
I
should be
said,
like linebackers or something. Yeah.
right. Like I'm not talking about that. And I'm talking about like if you had an Asian woman of a similar build to a black woman of a similar build to an Hispanic woman to a similar build of a white woman, black women will rate very highly.
I don't
It's just
disagree.
and one of the ways we can see that out in society is that for all of what black women have felt the pressure to do to try to become more European in their appearance, the fact of the matter is all races of women are doing all kinds of surgeries to look more like black women. Right? I mean, we're talking about the exploded lips with the injections.
Yeah, but like
we're
a lot of
talking
that,
about
a lot
the
of that
titties.
just
We're talking about the fake asses.
that goes from generation to generation. I feel like you know how like different beauty standards were so like what it's in the 80s or 70s like flat
You know,
butts used to be in.
Jimmy Dean is saying I'm generally not attracted to black women, but I've seen a few that are drop dead gorgeous. Again, in the absence of whatever your preconceptions are about black women, in the absence of all of that, when you just look at them, they are very attractive. But the problem is not in the physical attractiveness, but that's what they'll pawn it off on. And
What
who was in that kind of feminine frame before in the past? Me. Because when I was younger, I said, okay, I'm physically ugly and that's why I'm having these problems with women. And it wasn't. It was my fucking personality.
it's still shit, but yeah, you know.
I mean, but
I'm sorry, I can only
I'm
take
doing,
so many bars on this episode without going
no,
back.
no, no, I'm saying like, because obviously, but the thing is, and I feel sad, I'm thinking about what she said about her because she's going to delete the app if she does. I wouldn't
She
know.
won't.
Iron Match.
She won't.
I think it's sad that that's all she got out of it is that she's not worthy of dating. I just listed out what 6 or 7 great attributes that she has, and just 2 issues that is really like she's got a lot to offer, and it's clear that she does. And it's just like thinking with the emotions and with the depression will fuck you up. You can't listen to the depression, folks. You can't do it. The chemicals in your brain will lie to you.
Yeah.
It's just sad. It's sad overall. But you have to understand that this is the plight of modern women. And, I'm not even saying that women need to learn. I mean, you need to learn somewhat about men to have some success. But you need to have the humility to understand that you don't know shit about men. You don't. And once you humble yourself and you kind of deal on that level, you know what? And you know what? Men don't live in this delusion. What do men say all the time? I don't understand women. But it's women that constantly swear that either A, they know men, or B, that they're going to try to make men, remake men in their image. No, we're not getting on your program. Either you're going to get on our program or you're going to buy a dog and die alone.
Or a cat.
Shout out to Kevin Samuels. That's just the long and the short of it. In the coming episodes, we're going to be talking about the responsibility that men have to perform. We're gonna touch on that because, again, this is not a channel that bashes women. Because as I said before, I believe, especially in our age range, we still have a hope. I still have a hope for a lot of you guys that are, 27 and up. I still have hope for you because I believe that the generation that I'm in still has a lot of good women. But here's the thing. They are being, the generation of young women in their early 20s and then their teens and in their preteens. They are being indoctrinated by this ultra liberal influence
Yep.
that is going to lead
Democrats
them.
have ruined dating.
Yeah,
Absolutely ruined it.
it's you know, now Jimmy Dean's coming for your neck.
Bro,
He's coming for you, son.
bro.
But
Listen, just call it how it is, man. Try to put men in their right frame, right mental state. You know, my opinion. This is all the Democrats' fault. I can't stand it. I seriously can't stand it because you put all these political shit. I know it's not a political channel, but listen, I'm just saying.
no, it's very much political.
It's so
that's
true.
How we started the idea.
It's so true that this is a liberal wonderland we're currently living in. This is all by design.
But
So-
is it really a wonderland? Because again, if it was
It's the
a liberal
wonderland they wanna
then
set
people
out.
would be happy.
Yeah, well, it's
Liberals, a lot of liberals are not happy.
Yeah, you know why? Because they're too fucking stupid to realize the rules they put in place don't fucking make sense. It's like, I don't know. But
But but the thing is, I saw this coming like over 10 years ago, and
thanks, Obama.
no, it wasn't really. It wasn't
I'm
really.
fucking with you.
It wasn't really Obama's fault. But the thing is, society was moving in a direction that put Obama in that position,
Yeah, but like,
and then put Trump in that position that he.
but like,
ended up being in.
what would you say party toes that line like ridiculously to an excessive? Like, yo, we got, and I'm not gonna get into it because I'd like to get into
I
another
think it's
episode.
more corporate.
I don't.
I think it's
I don't-
corporate.
I don't think it's more corporate. I think it comes down to if you look at the Democrats as a whole, they go to the wicked far, like 10th degree. It doesn't need to go to, like, to the point of like,
I mean, you can say that about right wingers too.
yeah, but like on their
But that's what I'm
viewpoints,
saying.
yeah,
I think it's more corporate. I think that both sides. I think that the corporate machine in our country are playing both sides against the middle.
yeah. But what do these corporate machines generally lean towards? Which is like some of these that like post these ads and stuff like that. Like what
I
leanings
think-
or political leanings do they really? What do
I
they
think-
swing into?
I think that what they're swinging into is the mindset of the people who are their main source of income. And
Not
so they're
always. Not always. Like
Yeah, yeah.
look at Gillette. Look at that. Remember we talked about that Gillette ad. They're not swinging towards their demographic. They're swinging towards, I don't know what they were swinging for with that ad. They
what did
lost millions and millions.
What did I say about the miscalculation they made with that?
Oh no, I know because they believe that the women were still making the purchases for the men in their household.
Exactly.
And that's
So,
why. But
their
it's just
target.
hilarious.
Their target demographic.
Hmm.
They were targeting women with that ad. See, they framed it as if they were talking to men. They weren't talking to men. They were talking to women. Because a real man would have looked at that and said, yo, suck my fucking dick.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Listen, I would
They were talking to... Yo, put it like this. Who wrote and directed that commercial? Male or female?
Had to be female.
It was again, that Gillette campaign was woman talking to women.
Yeah, but what does that swing into? That's this progressive ideology where you put the woman above the man.
Right, because what is the target demographic?
Women.
Who spends the most money in the consumer sphere that actually is now the basis for the entire US economy and thus the world economy? Why do you think womanism is spreading around the world the way it is? The world economy, like it or not. Why do you think after they gave away, $600 a week and then $300 a week, and this stimulus and that stimulus, right? Why do you think that we're not paying $10 a gallon for gas right now? The entire world economy is built on the US dollar. So there's only but so much damage that can be done because you could say, well, you guys printed too many dollars and thus your dollar's not worth as much. Well, we've got all the nuclear weapons. So Our military is more powerful than yours. So what were you saying again? What were you saying about us printing too much money? You see, Venezuela can't get away with that shit. We should be going through, I mean, we are going through inflation. We're going through our version of hyperinflation, but our version of inflation is like 6%. When it happens to another country, it's 3,000%, sometimes worse. So, if you know that basically the world economy is underpinned by consumer spending, and consumer spending, by and large, is done mostly by women, who is your message actually crafted to?
Right. No, I get it, but damn. I don't know. This country's fucked. Their society's fucked. I just legitimately, like, if we get hit by a nuke, maybe it's for the best.
You know, like, you know,
I listen. I can't stand the pandering bullshit. I just can't.
Look at Xenon throwing up bars.
Yep.
Xenon sounds like somebody that watches Black Power Magic Hour. Good on you, sir. Good on you.
Listen, see, here on the non-funded show, we I'm fucking with you, but no, seriously, like, on all jokes aside, like, to me, yeah, they play both sides of the aisle in that manner, but I feel like we're going so far to the left. I'm hoping there's a correction, because
there will be
the absurdity of some of these statements. Like, you're literally having a man in the Olympics weightlifting.
We're gonna do a video on that,
because
so
I have a lot.
Let's not give it away. Let's not give that
away.
I'll
just say that if that becomes the new norm, bro, like, cancer should have took me. And that's
no. I'm telling you, the video that we got for that, the video that we have for that, oh my God, we might even put that. We might record it today and put it out tomorrow. So look out for that, folks. We've got a lot of content coming out in the future for you. As you see on our little bottom ticker, if there are anything that you want us to cover on the show, or if you're a young lady that actually wants to talk about some of the things that were discussed here, a particular young lady, you can email us at talkingshitpodcastllc@gmail.com. If any of you guys want us to comment on anything going on in your life, or you want us to make some social commentary, that same email address, talkingshitpodcastllc@gmail.com. Follow us on social media at TALKIN_SH_T on Twitter, Narsagram, and, well, Twitch. Yeah, so I want to let you guys know that whether or not you agree with us, we still appreciate you. But regardless of your opinion, we're still going to talk our shit. Peace.